Welcome to Wild. I'm your host, Robin Lavasser. They say our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate. It's being powerful beyond measure. In this podcast, I will share how to break through imaginary ceilings, lean into success, discovering your purpose, and understanding how to create the business and life of your dreams. From failures to triumphs and all the tactics in between, let's jump into the wild arena together. Making the calls. No, this is not even prospecting. I am actually not going to talk about prospecting today, even though it's a topic we should probably cover pretty quick. Making the call to the clients, making the call to a realtor, and making it no big deal. I don't know why, but I spent years as a loan officer in my own head that the goal was to quote unquote bug or bother a borrower as little as possible during what was the largest purchase of their life, needing lots of attention, lots of documents, lots of things to make sure that we could get the money right to them on time. And yet I spent so much time trying to be a mind reader, maybe remember everything that was ever said, looking for things, finding ways. And yes, there's things that we can do to facilitate making life easier for clients, like asking for permission to contact a CPA and maybe asking for their tax returns with an authorization versus them having to go dig them up. But here's what I would say. First things first with a client. One of the things that you want to say out loud, and I always say expectations is a really big deal, but even more important than that, normalize connection. Normalize it. Hey, we're going to become best friends over the next 21 days, 30 days, 45 days throughout this process. And when I say best friends, you don't just get me, you get my entire tribe of best friends, which means myself, the processor, multiple people reaching out to you. First of all, who is the best contact of the two of you? If there are multiple borrowers or three of you or whatever the case, if it's one person, you want to clarify how to connect. Is it text first? Do you have a minute? And then call after? Is it email and then send a text to remind them there's an email with offering of a phone call? When you have these conversations with clients and you normalize it, what happens is every time something comes up, you go, let me just call and ask. If you really think about it, all day long, I kind of laugh at myself because my husband and I ping each other throughout the day. Hey, do you remember this? Hey, what about that? Did you see this? Do you remember where I put this? What about this? We literally are pinging each other all day long. Now we live together. We could, yes, go look ourselves. There are moments when we kind of roll our eyes and think, you could have found that without bugging me at work or interrupting what he was doing when I all of a sudden have an urgent need. But here's the great thing. Things are getting taken care of and they're not festering. They're not sitting, they're not stealing me from other spaces when I can knock them down. Oh, sent a quick message, asked about this, took care of it quickly. And taking care of things super efficiently is a great skill with a massive return on investment. And it's been very interesting. Obviously we've gone through a transition. I was joking that I didn't necessarily mean to wear a CM sweatshirt today for podcast recording, but here I am in it. So, as we have transitioned, I have seen so many people hesitate to just pick up the phone, and to the point where even I've offered to just pick up the phone for them. I'll hop on a call with the client. I'll ask a few questions. And it is amazing to me how far just normalizing connection and communication can be. And so let me give you an example of that. It might be hey, thanks so much for picking up the phone. I've got 2 questions for you that'll be pretty fast. Do you have a second? Great. Now I'm going to ask you the couple questions. And then what you need to follow up with is, great, that is the exact information that I need. If I need anything else, I will reach out to you again via text or phone call. Otherwise, you'll have an update coming to you shortly on what milestone we are at in the process. If they're like, well, am I going to close on time? The answer is always going to be yes, unless it clearly is a firm no. And that would be a different phone call. We would have already been having that conversation that there's a no, that we're not closing on time. We need to reset. And now we have this new closing date that we're not going to miss. But outside of that, we're calling to say, hey, this, right? I've got a question. Can you clarify this for me? Remind me, did all of the gift funds come from mom and dad? And was this and this? Do you want me to reach out to mom and dad directly? If we leaned further into connection, And we recognized that it's not a bother when it brings clarity. A phone call is not pressure when it can create peace for both you and the borrower. A quick update or connection or question is not annoying when it helps you be informed, but it helps protect the borrower from future issues that we're kind of scrambling and running around all because we don't want to call them. Borrowers don't know what they need and don't need. Sometimes they're so glad to hear from you and to clarify. How many times, if we think about it, do you go to a medical procedure and does everybody, every single time, to this day, even if I just go to the normal doctor or the dentist for that matter, do you know what they say to me every time? Hey, Robin, you're allergic to sulfa and codeine. Any other updates? Anything else you're allergic to? I can't tell you how many times I've told somebody sulfa has me break out in hives, but I don't die from it. And codeine makes me a little nauseous, right? My stomach gets upset. So I don't take either one. It's noted on my chart. And for as long as I can remember being a young adult and now a middle-aged adult, I have had to clarify my date of birth, what I'm allergic to, and what those allergies do to me 1,000,001 times. And so if during a loan process, you have to clarify a few things for a client throughout the process, and you normalize that by maybe telling that story that I just told, which is people do very well with metaphoric stories that make them remember something. And all of a sudden they hear a human voice that says, hey, I've got a question. Instead of, we've made a mess over here because we've tried to solve this without you. And if I just would have called you, I could have solved it quicker. And now we are calling. So we make the call not to push, not to bother, not to inconvenience, not to chase, but to serve. We make the call to lead. We make the call to connect. We make the call to guide. We make the call to clarify, to be the pro's pro. So normalize making calls to clients throughout the process. Make it something that they expect. If they don't hear from you, they're like, why haven't they called me this week and asked me 17 more questions? If you normalize that being part of the process, your emotions go down, your response/activation goes up, and all of a sudden you are off to the races in collaboration with clients versus on this sneaky mission to pretend mortgage is something that it's not, and then having to call thinking, I wish I would have called sooner, what that would have done for my business in terms of keeping things on track, for my sanity, for my stress level, and for the rest of the team and everybody else involved. Make the call. If this was helpful, I hope you share it. We'll see you on the next Wild.